reboot, when applied to movies and TV and web series, as it says, can inspire utter terror in the hearts of us who loved the original. You maniacs! You blew it up! Damn yous! Damn yous all to hell! However, I've seen reboots give new life to series that died a horrible, terrible death. So, since this episode is technically a reboot, and I have every intention to not let it go into a death spiral like last time, I'm going to go ahead and go through a little list of the things that people need to do when they're going to try to do a reboot. Here on the Rebooted Random Bits of Geek! You got to know when to reboot. The first and most important thing is to know when you need to reboot. This is easy. If a franchise has gone into fire and flames and death, like a certain show you're watching, then yeah, it's time to reboot. Perfect example of that would be Batman and Robin, where Joel Schumacher tried to kill Batman. Cool thing is that this led to the awesomeness that was the Nolan trilogy. And then Batfleck. Sort of, which is good, but yeah. However, on the other hand, when it's been 5 years since the last movie, which admittedly had Spider-Man being emo, you still didn't need to reboot with the whole story again. You know what you want to do with a reboot. So, you've decided to reboot something? Awesome, great. Have an idea what the hell you're doing. Perfect examples of this include the reboot of the Stallone crap fest, Judge Dredd, with Carl Urban replacing him as just Dredd. Awesome. Awesome, great movie. The other example is Battlestar Galactica. The original was a cheesy 70s knockoff of Star Wars because Star Wars. But you get the reboot. You get Awesome Sauce 9000. And they knew what they had to change and what they had to make awesomer. Compare that with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot, which was, let's just throw it together and mayhem! Yay! No! Got to make it faithful, but better. And homages. This one's easy. You want to make a reboot? Make it better than the original. If the original is perfect, then maybe you shouldn't be rebooting it. And even if your movie is kind of mediocre that you're going to reboot, don't make Fantastic! Again, I jump back to Battlestar Galactica, which improved upon the original and made it great. The Nolan trilogy easily eclipsed the best Michael Keaton gave us. We already saw this story! What the shit? Sometimes when you're telling a story that hasn't been told for a while, you've got to tell the origin. If you're doing a complete reboot, you might have to put a little bit of origin there to lighten things up. Take Tim Burton's version of Batman. We didn't have to have a long, slow exposition of Bruce Wayne's backstory. We had a little bit of it when we needed it. Now the Nolan flicks, they changed it up. They had to rerun the story, but it had been 10, 15 years. Then we got to see Batfleck, and they rehashed it again. It's getting boring. And again, don't get me started about with the amazing they rebooted it again already, frickin' Spider-Man. Civil War, this is a warning. No Spider-Man backstory. Ever again! Finally, and I don't even need to put up a title, anything awesome here. Just make a good story. Make it something we give a shit about. Make it something awesome. If you have to borrow from the old story, great, awesome. I happen to know a movie where they took the old story, they took all the beats from it, threw it into a new movie, mixed it up with a little bit of new stuff, and made awesomeness! The word reboot, when applied to movies and TV and web series, can inspire utter terror in anyone who... The word reboot, when... The word reboot, when applied to TVs...